Hi, my name is Jose Gonzalez, and I am a multimedia designer. Today, I am joined by my friend Irene Flores, and together we'll talk to you about our perspectives on trendsetters.
Hi, good evening. My name is Irene Flores. I am an industrial designer at Anawak Mayam. Today on Design Trends, we will be discussing the different type of trendsetters, their common traits, their differences, and also how we as industrial designers contribute to the process of becoming a trendsetter or creating trends. So, young people, designers, and artists are all important trendsetters. Their common traits and what makes them trendsetters is that they are unafraid to stand out and the embracing of variation. These groups are like water, changing vessels when they are in need of expressing themselves differently. Me being a young person and a designer, I was able to relate to those two groups. Young people are constantly exploring their identity and personality and are more open-minded to new ideas, styles, and concepts. This makes it easier to adopt something unique in society and make it your own, just because it resonates with your soul and personality. However, this wasn't always like that. After World War II, young people were finally able to have a voice and express themselves through things like fashion and music taste. While on the other hand, designers are interested in creating and using their imagination constantly. We as designers are creators and followers. We find inspiration in art, in nature, in science, and many other fields. We express and communicate ideas visually, physically, and emotionally. Therefore, we use a lot our imagination, and that's why we are also trendsetters.
Finally, the other group of trendsetters are artists. Artists are creative, imaginative, and risk takers. Artists have a long history of being trend creators and trendsetters. There are really two types of artists: creative artists and performing artists. Many of the inspirations for new styles come from paintings and sculptures. Visual art is very easy to observe, analyze, follow, and copy. Also, to translate those visual concepts into other arts like sculpture, architecture, music, and literature. Therefore, that's why artists are one of the more common trendsetters and creators.
So, now that we have discussed the different characteristics and the differences between the trendsetters and their history, I will now elaborate how, as a designer, how I contribute to becoming a trendsetter or also creating trends. As a designer, it's my job to be always looking for inspiration in all things. And I have learned from the previous lessons that it is through keen observation and investigating of new styles that are emerging that I contribute to the adoption of trends. This is so because I could implement that specific style and give it my personal twist. It being objects, products, packaging, sketching, etc. is how I become a trendsetter. And also what helps a lot is the networking on social media platforms like Behance, Pinterest, Instagram. It just makes it easier to see what everybody else is doing, like other designers like graphic, architectures, animators. And because of this, it helps with the observing stage and deciding what you want to pick up. Knowing if there is an actual trend going on and you wanted to jump the bandwagon before it becomes too mainstream. However, for the creation of a trend, I believe it correlates a lot with design thinking and the principles of an industrial designer. As an industrial designer, it is my duty to give tangible and intangible value to a product or brand. The same is for trends. It is important to know the audience's interests, to engage them effectively and understand their pain points and address their needs. It is about being an innovator, creating something great, but also something that is profitable and productive. Designers are, in my opinion, the essential trendsetters amongst people because we are keen to start trends just by making our art, and people will eventually catch up and try to join us in what we make. People flock to what is appealing to them, and that makes us the perfect deliverers for things for people to get attached to. And it could be via by music or art or different styles that can be interpreted in many different areas in media.
going all the way back to war propaganda days up to today's Apple's whole style and branding, we as designers have created many different staples in marketing and ad culture that we are inevitably the trendsetters for so many different areas.
In conclusion, young people, designer, artists are the trendsetters that were talked about today in this video. The similarities they have are that they want to stand out and want to find variation in their lives. Because of this variation, it allows us to continue exploring within ourselves and not just the external of what we need and what we like and what we would like others to see. It's an expression of ourselves that allow new trends to emerge and or also new trends to adopt, and it just makes us feel connected and as one, knowing that someone out there also can resonate with our same interests, ideas, concepts. And finally, it is the inspiration that we all seek. This is also something that ties these three groups of trendsetters, that you are actively looking for enriching your own inner and external life. And inspiration is something that we always have to be observing, adapting, giving our personal twist. And that is something that these three groups also do.